Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another show on my CD collection. This is part 26. Without further ado, let me start with the first album. All City's first and only album, Metropolis Gold, released in 1998. For those who know who All City is, they were a group from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, New York. They got put on by Onyx. They were affiliated with Onyx. They were part of the whole official Nasty crew and shit like that. And this is like the first group that they really announced them, because I believe they shouted them out throughout like the throughout their second album, All We Got Is Us, which in my opinion is their best album, but I'll say that for another day. Yeah, getting back to this album, I believe this album was supposed to come out back in, I believe in '96, but it got delayed and then it came out in 1998. The reason I say that is because there's a couple of songs that were made throughout around that time, and I guess like they just never got around getting putting them out until 1998. But overall with this album, let me start with the singles. The singles this album was known for the actual, I believe Hot Joint was a single too. What else? Yeah, Hot Joint, like I said before. Metro Theme, but that was like more of an underground single. Who That as well, which that song Who That, I fucking love that song. That's the best way to start off the album. It definitely sounded like something that was made during the Onyx All We Got Is Us era, like the sessions, around that sessions, you can tell. That's why I thought, you know, that's why I said this song was supposed to come out in '96, because it definitely had that same soundscape. But overall, this is a decent album. I feel like it could have been a little bit better, a little bit too much filler for my taste. Like I said a lot, like in a lot of reviews that I've done, that with this album suffered with the bad boy syndrome, where they would have like dope street joints, but then they would have like filler tracks, like, you know, trying to go for the that bad boy formula with using like, you know, 80s top 40 singles and shit like that. But they're not as bad as that it sounds, but I don't know. That was just my beef with certain MCs from the '90s, particularly in the late '90s, particularly in the East Coast. You know what I mean? But overall, if you can find a copy of this, pick it up. This album's actually out of print, but if you can find it, pick it up. It shouldn't be that expensive. I got this a while back, but yeah, this is All City Metropolis Gold, released in 1998. Then we got Memphis Bleek's first album, Coming of Age, released in 1999. Yeah, everybody knows who Memphis Bleek is. Jay-Z's former right-hand man at one point, or we carry. Oh man, my bad. Anyways, yeah, his right-hand man at one point. This is his first album, came out in '99. What made him really broke out was the song Coming of Age from Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, and then he came out with part 2 of that song on Hard Knock Life tour. I mean, no, the Hard Knock Life album, In My Lifetime Volume 2 by Jay-Z. And then he came out with the song My Mind Right, which I don't know why it was not featured on this album, but it's actually featured on the Backstage soundtrack, which that song should have been on this album, but the remix is actually featured on his second album, The Understanding, which I don't have in my collection. I do need to pick it up. I actually do like that album. But yeah, overall, I like the album. It's pretty decent. You know, if you guys are familiar with Rockefeller Records, you guys should know about Memphis Bleek. You should know about their music, at least their early shit, you know, from the late '90s and stuff. You know, they talk about pussy, money, drugs, shooting niggas, you know, typical hustler shit, you know what I mean? Singles I was known for Memphis Bleekers, which was single, Murder for Life featuring Ja Rule. I mean, that song being big back in New York at the time. Stay Alive in New York City. Yeah, pretty decent album. I actually like it, man. If you guys like late '90s hip hop, East Coast hip hop, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Then we got Jedi Mind Tricks, Violent by Design, released in 2000. I actually have the deluxe edition, which came out in 2004, which is long out of print. So good luck finding this shit. I know it goes for a pretty penny, but I lucked out with this one. I bought this years ago. Got it I think for like $10 or some shit like that. Known for singles like Eye Against Eye, which was a single. I believe that was it, if I'm not mistaken. I know my Jedi Mind Tricks fans will know about, this album. Speech Cobras featuring Mr. Liv. Fucking dope song. Contra featuring Killer Shah. I mean, rest in peace, Killer Shah, by the way. Overall, this is a classic album. Highly recommended. What's cool about this album, it comes with a DVD. This is the actual DVD. This is more like, you see them touring during that time and stuff like that. You don't really see too much studio sessions, which I wish they would have shown, like, see him, like, stoop on an ASR 10 or some shit, making a beat or something. That would have been dope, but you didn't get that with this, which, I mean, you do see him on the MPC 2000 XL, but, but whatever. A lot of people consider this their best album. I don't know. I tend to disagree. I prefer their first album, their real first album, the Psychosocial LP. It's a long ass name. I'm not gonna try to say that because I forgot what it was, but because that one is a lot more darker, it's more gritty, it's more dirty sounding, it's more basement. But a lot of people complain about their lyrics at the time being too complex on the first album, so it kind of flew over a lot of people's heads. I will get a copy of the album eventually. I will do a proper review on the album. Stay tuned for that. Overall, highly recommended. This is a classic album. Definitely recommend. If you like dope beats, dope lyrics, shit like that, this is the album to pick up. Bound by Design by Jedi Mind Tricks, released in 2000. Then we got Fugees, The Score, released in 1996. Need not say more. Definitely a must own your collection. I actually showed you guys their first album, Blunder and Reality, which was okay. Wasn't all that. Could have been a little bit better, in my opinion, but it is what it is. This album was kind of like a comeback album, like a total improvement. It's like, I guess, like, they worked their ass off in this album, and it shows, man. I mean, with production by Wyclef Jean, when he actually made dope beats. Salam Remy, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Diamond D, can't go wrong with that. Known for singles like Ready or Not, Fuji La, Cowboys, which was a single too. No Woman No Cry. What's the other song? Yeah, Killing Me Softly. I mean, yeah, this is a classic album, man. You must own this in your collection. If you're not a hip hop head, you should. If you don't like hip hop, you should own this anyways. That's how good this album is. Highly recommended. Definitely deserves what it got. All the Grammys that it got, whatever. Definitely deserves that. It's definitely a dope album. Timeless shit. Definitely. Then we got Almighty R.S.O. Doomsday Forever. R.S.O. This was released in 1996. This is their debut album. They came out with an EP called, I believe, I think it was called Revenge of the Bad Boys back in '94. But a lot of people didn't really know who they were, at the time. They were kind of like more underground. For those who don't know, this is Benzino's old group. Yes, Benzino, the same Benzino that used to own the Source at one point. Dude from Stevie J's right hand man on Love and Hip Hop. That stupid ass show. But I still watch it because it's so entertaining. The girls are fun as hell. Some of them, anyways. But anyways, getting back to this album. Yeah, this album is pretty decent. It's kind of unique because it has like an East Coast vibe, but it also has some like West Coast vibe to it because some of the beats on the album. The singles album is known for The War Zone featuring Mobb Deep, which is one of my all-time favorite Havoc beats. It's one of his best beats in my opinion. A lot of people don't really talk about that song, The War Zone. Fucking love that album. Love that song. I could play that song forever. Prodigy obviously had the best verse on that fucking track, in my opinion. This is the Prodigy I love, that I want back. The Hella Nerve, Infamous, Murder Music, even the first Each Time I See Prodigy, I want back. You know what I mean? I want that I want that back. You know what I mean? This Prodigy now, I'm not feeling, man. Although I did like his you know, he returned to the Mac and the you know, in the Albert Einstein album. I do like those, but you know, just like he's falling off as far as delivery. He's just gotten lazy, and I'm not digging that. But One in the Chamber, featuring MOP, Coco Brothers. That's a big song too. I believe this is actually the remix because they have the original version on the EP that I just mentioned, but it's just them themselves. But with this one, it features MOP and Coco Brothers. That should have been a fucking single, and that should have been a video for that too. But that's just me, you know what I mean? But yeah, I highly recommend checking this album out, man. If you got like mid-90s hip hop, East Coast hip hop, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Then we got Sha'dasious, Funk What You Heard, released in 1994. Yeah, very, very dope album. Known for singles like Funk with I'm gonna put my thing down, and trying to see what's the other single. I know I'm gonna put my thing down was a single because I know that song came out back in 1992. There's a video for that. I'll post down the link in the description box for that. I lucked out finding this shit. I bought this a couple years ago. Didn't know who he was. Picked it up. I loved it, man. Some of the tracks, some of the beats, some of them kind of remind me something that Lords of the Underground from the first time would have rapped over. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I get from this album. You know what I mean? If you like beats like that, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. But you know, yeah, fucking dope Philly MC. Unfortunately, I think this is the only album he ever came out with. Never came out with anything else. But yeah, this is definitely out of print, so if you can find it, pick it up. This Sha'dasious Funk What You Heard, released in 1994. Pick it up if you can find it. Then we got Wrestle Development's first album, 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of, released in 1992. Need I say more? Speech, you guys know who he is. Definitely an underrated MC. Very dope group. Definitely ahead of their time. You know, they were part of like they weren't part of the whole native tongues, but they had like that vibe with them, like the Diggable Planets, and like that type of vibe. Freestyle Fellowship, like that type of vibe. That's what you'll get with this album. You know, they kind of like that conscious, that black awareness vibe, because you know back in the early 90s, that's what was big back in the day. But yeah, anyways, known for singles like Tennessee. I believe that was it. I believe that was the only single of the album. Well, that was the biggest single of the album, and the production is done by Speech, which is pretty dope. But yeah, highly recommend it. If you like that style of hip hop, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Artists Development. Excuse me. 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days up in the life of, released in 1992. Pick it up. Then we got Patra, Queen of the Pack, released in 1993. If you guys into dancehall, like early 90s dancehall like I am, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Singles I was known for are Romantic Call featuring Yo-Yo, very dope song. Think About It was a single. Walker Man, but I wish they had the Salam Remy remix on this fucking album, because that was a song, that shit was the shit. That beat is out of this world, man. Patra, for my dancehall heads, if you guys, you know, into like Lady Saw, shit like that, you'll definitely enjoy this lady. To me, she was like the originator of that whole raunchy female singer, female DJ and dancehall in hip in dancehall, in the dancehall world. But you know, I think people don't really give her props. If I'm not mistaken, she came out with a new song recently. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta look for that. I could be wrong about that, but I think I heard something. She put out a new song. But yeah, Queen of the Pack, released in 1993. Pick it up if you guys like early 90s dancehall like I do. Then we got Death Squad El Nino, released in 1998. You guys should know Death Squad, Keith Murray, Eric Sermon, Redman, Jamal at one point, Hurricane G at one point, you know, Jamal, like I said before. Overall, this album was okay. Could have been a little bit better. I don't know. I'm just so used to the old dirty Eric Sermon from like the mid to early to mid '90s. That's the Eric Sermon I like. You know, Eric Sermon from like No Pressure, Double or Nothing. You know, like that beat, that Insomnia, the compilation album came out back in '96. I was expecting those kind of beats on this shit, and I didn't get that, and I was kind of disappointed with it. And I don't know, it had a little bit too much fillers for me. It had like because some of the beats were like too many familiar samples using like you know, the Apache sample, like the Rapper's Delight sample. I don't know. I didn't really care for that too much. You know what I mean? But like, you know, because a lot of MCs around the time was using those samples, like the break beats, the familiar break beats, and I don't know. I just didn't really care for that. I mean, I understand why they did it, but just I didn't care for it. I feel like this song could have been a little bit better, but you know, if you're a Def Squad aficionado like I am, just that having in the collection, definitely gotta pick it up. I gotta get his Erica Nastis album. I don't have it in my collection. I know that's out of print, but I'll definitely pick that up whenever I get the chance. I haven't heard the album yet, so I'll see how the album is. Then we got the Bush Babies, Ambush, released in 1994. Very dope album, highly recommended. How I like to compare this group, I like to compare them as like a hyped up Tribe Called Quest, because like of the beats, and like more so because of the beats and like the playful lyrics and shit like that, you know, kind of like the hyped up lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah, known for singles like Just Can't, no, Rerun Things, I believe. Remember We was a single. What is single? Swing It, Jazziness, that was a single as well. But yeah, very dope album. Highly recommended, man. If you like Salam Remy's beats and stuff like that, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Highly recommended, very underrated. Everybody knows about the Bush Babies. That song, the love song they did with R.S.O, well, specifically Posthumous and Most Def. This was their first album. The second album, Gravity, with that song, the love song, was featured on that song. That song was featured on that album, Gravity. I didn't get my hands on that album too, but yeah, this is Ambush by the Bush Babies, released in 1984. Pick it up if you can find it, because it's actually out of print. Then we got Channel Live's first album, Station Identification, released in 1995. For those who don't know who Channel Live is, they're a group from I believe they're from Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jersey City or Newark. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know they're from Jersey, definitely. Somebody in the comments, let me know where they're from. But I believe they're from Jersey. But anyways, they were affiliated with KRS-One. They were part of the whole Boogie Down Productions crew, as well as Mad Lion at the time. Production is done by KRS-One and Salam Remy. KRS-One does most of the beats, and Reggie Burrell. Don't know who that is, but I don't know. He did Station Identification, the themes, the title track of the song. It was actually the first song of the album too. Very dope song. Starts off with the album very well. The song has like a real dark vibe to it. Singles album was known for his Madism, Reprogram, Sex for the Sport. The Reprogram, the Easy Mo B remix. Oh my god, one of Easy Mo's illest beats. That's all I gotta say. Highly recommend it. If you guys like KRS-One's production on the SP1200 like I do, which in my opinion I feel like he needs to start making his own beats again. Definitely recommend it, man. If you like dope beats, dope lyricism, this is the album to pick up. Station Identification, released in 1995. Pick it up. You can find it. Sex actually out of print. Pick it up. Then we got the D&D Project, released in 1995. This was just a compilation album that D&D Studios put out. They just grabbed like random MCs, up-and-coming MCs that was coming up in the New York area, and just put them on. Very dope album, very underground sounding, very dirty, very grimy. Highly recommended. the singles I was known for is 1-2 Pass, which they have a video for. Primo back in the mid '90s was fucking phenomenal. That's the Primo I miss. Like, you know, Primo from like 1992 to 1996. That's Primo I miss. Yeah, this is a fucking dope album, man. I highly recommend it, man. This is an album that you play in your car at night when you're like driving, with your boys, or you driving dolo. It's like those midnight, like wee hours in the morning type of albums that I would play while driving at night and shit. This is a very dope album, very underrated. They came out with the second one back in 2001. I don't have that. I did hear it. It's not as good as this one. If you're gonna get into this, if you're gonna get into the D&D series, I would start with this. I highly recommend picking this album up. Pick this shit up. Also out of print. Then we got Remedy, the Genuine Article, released in 2001. Very, very, very dope MC, very underrated. For those who don't know Remedy, he's a MC from Staten Island. He's the first Jewish MC. I hate to say it like that, but you know, you gotta say what it is. But he's the first Jewish descended MC on Wu-Tang roster. He's a Wu affiliate. Very talented, very dope. He's known for his song "Never Again," which he was featured on the Swarm compilation album that came out back in 1998. Which I need to get my hands on. I used to have it, but that shit broke in my pocket. I think I told you guys that story anyways. But anyways, that song was actually featured on this album, which I think was dope. Yeah, very dope album. Highly recommended, man. If you guys like Wu-Tang, you like Wu affiliated MCs, this is an album to pick up. Highly recommended. Like I said, Never Again, where he talks about, you know, the Holocaust in the hip hop form. I mean, that shit was so ill, because when I first heard it, I thought it was a black dude doing that shit. I didn't know it was a white dude, white Jewish dude rapping that shit. And when I found out it was him, I mean, damn, like that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? You know, but yeah, fucking dope. That shows you that, yo, doesn't matter what color you are, man. If you're a dope MC, whether you're Indian, Chinese, white, whatever, if you got the skills, you know, you good money. But that's it. Genuine Article by Remedy, released in 2001. I believe this is actually out of print as well. But pick it up. If you're a Wu head, pick it up. And that's it, people. Hope you guys enjoyed that review, that CD collection. Stay tuned for more. Peace.